nothing else, it's exhausting having her on my own.
Well, just as long as she's not setting me up another puppet show, eh?
No, that did go on a bit. She was so proud of herself, though. Hey, and what about that picture she drew of the two of you together?
Oh, I know, it's lovely.
Are you really going to put it in a frame?
Yeah, of course. I told her I would. Right, it's getting on.
Yeah.
Especially as I'm out tomorrow night. Me and Hannah are going to this cricket get-together at Bournemouth.
So you do Rosie's story, then? You know she'll want you to.
Oh, right, yeah.
What, you didn't think you were getting to go home?
No.
You might be the next big thing at BL, but Rosie's the boss around here. Chris, a word?
Linda! Just the woman I was looking for.
Now, I'm sorry, Chris, if you feel I was prejudging you by saying you and...
To parties on the beach.
You were right to hook me up on it.
But, as a woman myself, I shouldn't be expected to stay silent.
Which is why I think you'd make such a great chair.
I beg your pardon.
That's why I wanted to find you. At the moment, there's not a single woman on the cricket club committee. Imagine the statement it would make if you were in charge.
Yes. Well, I must say, standing the chair naturally occurred to me. Surely there are more suitable candidates. What about Tracy?
It was my aunt who suggested you.
Was it really?
She mentioned it just after our conversation on Monday. I've been thinking about it since then.
But aren't you concerned what the rest of the committee will think? Won't my being parachuted in ruffle a few feathers?
I think most of them will be relieved. The only candidate at the moment is Barry.
Oh, good heavens.
Exactly. I reckon you'd win with a landslide. And anyhow, what's so bad about ruffling a few feathers? There was grumbling from a few folk when we started having women on the team. Now is the committee's turn to get with the times, and you're the perfect person to lead the charge. Linda Snell, MBE, the modern female face of Ambridge Cricket Club. I can't see how change is ever going to happen otherwise.
Well, as the humble recipient of an honour, I wouldn't want to shirk my duty.
Oh, great! Right, I'm off to get dinner.
One question, though. Have you discussed this with Harris?
No, not yet.
Don't you think it might be wise to? He is team captain. No doubt it would strengthen my nomination if I had his support.
Come to the pub later. We can chat about it with him then.
No, it's cracking to see you. Fair play to Chris for convincing you to join the team.
Is Chris here yet, Stella? What?
No, not yet. It should be soon, though. Can I get you two a drink?
Oh, no, that's kind of you. Yeah, but we're fine.
Okay. Well, I've bagged in a couple of tables around by the fireplace. Might have to show how many people are going to turn up, and I figured it'd be nice to have a get-together before the season starts.
Another bout of chemo, and then towards the end, she got to the stage where she said, enough is enough. She just couldn't take it anymore. The body just couldn't take it anymore. She actually put her hands together and said, I don't want any more. You know, there were days and weeks when she would just want to sort of, top herself, because it was only that person knows what they are going through with the chemo treatment that they're going through. Nobody else does. Everyone else is pushing you to have the chemo. And it's one of those things that I find we were towards the very end. We found ourselves to be very selfish to actually say, go and have another bout. Go and have another bout, because we wanted that person to be around for as long as possible. But the quality of life, the actual person, we'd lost that person ages ago. And that's what...
Yeah, Tash, I remember it well, towards the end of my mother's life when it sort of became clear to us that another bout of chemo was not going to really make a difference, and actually the medical team were very helpful in explaining that. But my mother was also, look, I've had enough. I've had enough now, and it's a very, very challenging moment. But of course, as loved ones, you want them to be there to continue. It's incredibly difficult. Thank you for sharing. Mel in Bishop Stortford.
Hi.
Hi, Mel.
Yeah, my mother died 50 years ago last Mother's Day. She was 42, I was 15. My kid sister was 12, the day before my sister's birthday. Mother sat me down at the very end of her illness and quite calmly and solidly told me, she said, I've fought the battle, I can't fight it anymore, it's going to get me. I want you to be strong for yourself. I want you to be strong for your sister. We had a pretty ineffective father, to be honest. So I've never forgotten those words, and I've used it as a strength to carry on, really. It's done me good. I kind of empathise with Prince William, you know, who lost his mum at the same age as me, and now he's got this to face. It's such a debilitating disease. It's so undignified. It takes no prisoners most of the time. It's very, very difficult. Very, very difficult for anyone who goes through it. And no one can tell you how it feels. No one can explain to you how it actually feels and how it has a profound effect on your life. And you do have to make a conscious decision to fight or flight, as they say.
And Mel, how long ago was it when you lost your mum?
1974.
Oh my word.
She had a 3-year battle with cancer. It came. She had early form of radiotherapy at Mount Vernon, Rickmansworth, and went into remission. When it came back with a vengeance. And yeah, it wasn't it's not a very pleasant experience for anyone to go through. You know, least of all the person who's suffering and those around them. Yeah, life-changing. It's life-changing. But I've taken the positives from it. I've done well out of it. I've done well out of my life as a result of standing up and getting on with it, basically.
Thank you so much for calling in. Really appreciate it. And Jeff in Munich in Germany.
Yeah, hi David. I lost both of my parents to cancer, and I went down with them the darkest road you could ever possibly imagine. My father died of throat cancer when I was 22, and my mother of lung cancer when I was 45. And the worst thing about this disease, as I'm sure you know, is you see your parents through pain and medication turn into children. And it's hard to get over it.
I actually remember seeing my mother age, with the chemo and everything. I watched her age in 2 years before our eyes. That was the thing that really struck me.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw my mother, turn from a very intelligent woman. She was a nurse. Yeah, but what makes me the most angry, if I can say that, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, is the NHS could not diagnose her lung cancer within 8 months. They thought it was something else. And finally a surgeon decided he would cut off the top right half of her lung, and that would be the end of it. He would do that. But you don't have 8 months for lung cancer, as you know.
Well, it can be very quick, lung cancer, can't it? Or very progressive, is probably the better way of putting it.
Yeah, I remember you saying that your father also died of throat cancer.
Throat cancer, yeah. Jeff, we'll end there. Thank you so much for calling in. It brings it home, and I have to say, throat cancer is a horrible cancer. It really, really is. Thank you for sharing in that hour. Very, very special calls. Is society too harsh on our children? An NHS survey has found that 1 in 5 children in the UK are suffering from probable mental health disorders. Before the pandemic, this figure stood at just 1 in 8 children. That's a massive increase in a very short space of time. Campaigners have blamed the pressure the pandemic put on children, causing increasing strain on their education and relationships, but there's a cost of living crisis. Children's future prospects too feel a bit bleak. While the health system is struggling to cope with surging demand, it's time that we tackle the issue of children's mental health. How are we as a society letting our children down? What can we do, whoever you might be, to stop our children suffering? Is our society too hard on young people?
The nonsense of pretending we want to be on the cricket team.
Right, fine. Well, I'll do it. But only if you promise you'll speak to Pip.
Oh, now, come on.
If I'm putting my heart on the line, then you have to too. Or you're not allowed to pester me about Chris ever again. Oh.
And
Play LBC.
leading Britain's conversation, this is LBC.
From Global's newsroom at 11 o'clock, the Princess of Wales says she's been moved by the warmth of all the messages of support she's had. Kate's having preventative chemotherapy after being diagnosed with cancer. Events have been cancelled in Russia and entertainment shows on TV have been suspended. There's a day of mourning after 133 people were killed in a shooting at a concert hall. ISIS has claimed responsibility. A man's died in a crash after reports he was driving the wrong way down the M62 in West Yorkshire. It happened near Huddersfield in the early hours of yesterday morning. An 18-year-old man's been charged with murder following the death of a man in a shooting in southeast London. Shaquille Graham, who was 30, was attacked in Catford Broadway 2 weeks ago. And finally, in football, England suffered their first defeat since the World Cup, losing 1-0 to Brazil in a friendly last night at Wembley. They were wearing their new shirts with a purple and blue St George's cross on the collar.
Nick Ferrari at breakfast on LBC. Coming up next week. It's a numbers game. Has Rishi Sunak made any progress on his 5 pledges?
Halve inflation, grow the economy, reduce debt, cut waiting lists and stop the votes.
The Prime Minister appears before a panel of MPs for a grilling on his political record. And might this man's number be up?
It's a very big day for liberty, and I think it's just a great day for this country.
Former President Donald Trump is back in court over his hush money trial. Nick Ferrari at breakfast. Back tomorrow morning from 7.
With EDF, helping to cut carbon and cost for everyone.
LBC.
Hey, Harry.
Hello, mate.
What's your tip for the big match?
Well, it's going to be a bit lively, that is for sure. And there's a bit of needle there. They're both dangerous from set pieces, and neither one will keep a clean sheet. So your best bet is clean sheet. Oh, blooming Nora. I've only gone and left the washing on the line.
Harry?
Sanders going to kill me.
Make your best bet at BetVictor. 18 plus, please gamble responsibly.
Do you know what? Tomorrow I'll have been here 20 years.
20 years? That's amazing! We should be celebrating.
I don't think anyone will remember, and anyway, I don't really want any fuss.
You make the moments that matter. We just send the flowers. Singflowers.com. The beautiful bouquet.
She was very disappointed that she had to put up with boring old mummy reading a bedtime story.
Oh, was she? That's funny you should mention that. It's something I need to talk to you about.
Oh, hang on. I'd better just attach this cluster.
Sure, go ahead. We really should discuss it though, and you know, please try not to take this the wrong way.
Oh, stop fussing.
You know how I love Rosie and I love spending time with her? Maybe, though, if we set some ground rules, I agree to her, say, twice a week, just so she understands I can't do it all the time. What do you reckon?
Sorry, say that again?
I'm just saying, I know how attached Rosie is to me.
Sorry? No, I wasn't trying to make you feel guilty.
Oh, no.
I think it's lovely how attached she is.
No, I know, and that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, it's so loud in here. Rosie's with my mum, and I'll be finished dinner now. Come over to Brickyard then. Perfect. Oh, Brian, it's gorgeous.
Well, it's not quite the house at home farm.
did you say it was built?
It was late 1700s. It's almost as old and creaky as I am.
What nonsense. You certainly don't look old and creaky in your dinner jacket.
Thanks. Can I get you a drink? I wasn't sure if you wanted to stay here for a while or if you'd rather head straight to the ball.
Grey Gables isn't far, is it?
No, just round the corner.
Well, let's stay here then. No rush.
Well, what can I offer you? I don't have an enormously extensive selection. Unless you're a fan of Scotch whiskey, that is.
Single malt? Absolutely.
Really? Well, I've a wonderfully fruity 18-year-old Speyside you might enjoy.
Ooh, if that's what you suggest.
Right you are.
Is Kate not around?
No, she's spending the night with her boyfriend.
Ah, made certain she was out of the way, did you?
No, well, yes, but I wasn't making assumptions.
And I'm teasing.
I have to admit, I am feeling slightly apprehensive. It'll be the first time Lillian's seen me with another woman since Jenny died.
Brian, we talked about this.
I know.
Time moves on. For all four of us. Even if Justin and Lillian aren't happy about it, we can still act like grown-ups.
We know very well Justin won't be happy.
Oh, he'll be livid. You said you wanted to wipe the phony smile off his face after the business with your farm manager.
Yes, I do. It seems a little petty to use you as part of our battles, though.
Oh, please. Use away. Nothing gives me greater pleasure than watching my ex-husband squirm.
As long as you're absolutely certain.
Brian, I'm sure. It does smell good.
Just wait till you taste it.
I can't wait. Cheers.
Cheers. Well, who's that you're waving at? Is it Brian?
No, don't be daft. It's Annabelle.
Oh, yes. Well, that's quite a dress she's wearing.
Yes, well, there is a bit. Are you sure Brian said he was definitely going to come?
I told you, Lily.